So, is this going to be an offlane? Is this going to be a farming puck with an offlane Elder Titan?
The TI qualifiers just looked at it and said, no, these guys hate each other. They're never going to do anything good.
Well, we're finally ready to go. The pause has been resumed. And, yeah, I'm interested to see how also NaVi US lanes this. I don't know if you got a chance to watch. Did you watch the Summit 2 playoff qualifiers last night with NaVi US taking on...
I did not.
Not today. Not today. Just owned them.
Really?
Just destroyed them. And I think that was more of a credit to Not Today just playing very, very well. But NaVi US still trying to find their footing. Like, it's been a long time. They're still undergoing some roster changes and roster switcheroos, and even captain roles, so as well as Ush is now drafting for them. So he's actually going to be taking the mid role. I thought this was going to be Rise taking it, but it's actually going to be him on the Magnus playing the off lane. He is a fantastic Magnus player, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to see how much work he can get done with that. And then it leaves a safe lane tri-lane with the Eventual Spirits, the 5 or 4 position bottom with boots, and then of course Korok on the Slark. And then bottom here for Empire, we got Solo on the Witch Doctor, supporting Puck. That's what I thought was going to happen, but I thought it was like kind of weird because Silent was playing it. And then Always Want to Fly might just stay up top to start off with Batrider. We've seen this kind of weird dual lane, disruptive dual lanes we'll call it, for a number of times, and I imagine they'll start there and kind of move around. But it will be Yoki on the mid lane, Naga Siren.
The battle begins.
Arise going back and forth with Silent. They're fighting over the rune. It's going to be a bounty, and Arise taking a fair amount of damage. He's down to half health. There's going to be the orb. You think he'll go for it? Yeah, he's actually going to jaunt and chase him all the way back to mid. He has to go and burn a tango, and he's going to have to burn more than that. He's not going to be able to show up in the offlane against the Witch Doctor and a Puck and survive with this much health, and he's going to miss his block. I mean, does he even go to lane, or do you just go back and heal? Like, you're going to burn through all of your regen.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Like,
he's got a salve on the way to him now.
Okay, well then you stay. But like you said, he missed his block, so the block is right here on Dire. If you just straight up Dire block versus Radiant block, it'll be like right here, where's where it should be, just because it's easier on Dire. So that's a big, and also the auto attack damage. Oh, he tries to go for level 1 skewer on Witch Doctor, misses it. This is going to be a big disaster here in the bottom lane for Rise. I imagine he gets nothing down here.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, he does have a salve, so that helps him in the very least. But if they keep the lane just right here and maybe even pull it back just a little bit. Oh, actually action onto him. The skewer is down. He's gonna die.
Yep. First blood.
That was not. That was very bad.
That happened in a flash. Fog was actually coming through the river and rotating on the bat, and I thought he was going to go. Flashed up there to take a look and see if there was action. And in that amount of time, I hear you raise your voice, get back down the bottom, and he's dead. So first blood drawn, and Empire's going to have to be pretty happy about that. You know, is it just me, or do we see a lot of players getting a lot of trouble over this bottom room when they're off lane Dire? Like, think how many times we saw Universe in the little bit we've seen EG. He's died like, what, giving up first blood 3 times, I think, in 2 or 3 series, going after that bottom rune as an off lane Jakiro. Like, you got to be careful, man. Like, you can get jumped there easy.
Yeah, I don't even think the offlane has a place in trying to go for the rune. They're actually putting more aggression onto him. Because he doesn't have a stout shield, he takes a lot of damage. He does have the skewer as a failsafe, but my god, he's under a lot of pressure. And not going to get anything. But I think that your primary focus on the offlane, this is just my opinion, should always be the block. Especially on Dire, because the Dire block is so substantial and so useful, much more than the Radiant one, that I think you're not really getting the most out of your lane, and actually he's taking more damage. He's got to find a tricky way to use his skewer. He actually skewers Silent towards him. That might actually hurt him more than help him, and he's dead again. Yep. This offlane is just an unmitigated disaster.
I don't know what they do, because like, you cannot have a Magnus that is this far behind. Mag is, you know, Tide is, I would argue that Tide's actually much better at playing with lower levels. Like, if he gets behind, he gets zoned out. Lack of a Blink Dagger hurts, but he's a little bit more naturally tanky, I feel like, and he does a little bit better without items like Art Boots. Well, not better than if he had them, obviously, but he can handle it. You can still have an impact with him. TP in, this, that, and the other. Whereas the Mag basically becomes super reliant on skewer RPs, and he is actually getting a little bit of XP now, and he's just spamming the wave, which is the right choice, I think. Just shove this out, get what you can, and don't take any more chances. Up to level 3, so his XP gain not bad, but so yeah, 2 deaths in the first 3 minutes is tough going. Let's talk about the other lanes for a moment. Yoki versus Ush here in mid. Ush is leading the way with 21 CS against Yoki's 16. However, it is a Naga Siren. And at some point, I think we can expect to see NaVi US try to bring this Naga down. They're going to have to. They can't just allow him to freeform mid.
He's actually doing not too bad in mid, 17. He's actually not doing too bad mid with 17 CS. I actually think that Ush could have gone for a kill there. He had like a good amount of damage sucked away, and then Naga was just playing up in his face with like 150 HP. Arrow coming up, it's gonna miss unfortunately, hits the creep. So nice try there by the Potom, but unable to connect with that. How's the offlane for Empire doing? Scandal? 4 CS, level 3. Okay, not too bad. He hasn't died, so.
Well, he's also a bad rider. So long, I mean, level 2. If things were going terribly and he was level 2, he could still go to the jungle and do okay. And
right.
you know, so like the fact that he feels like he's doing well enough to continue to sit in lane tells you it's going pretty well. Arise knows he's got to change something up, and he's rotating through with that invis he found bottom. He's going to go for a kill here if they can get Yoki. Way 2 sitting right on the edge, and they're going to get him. Yep, there's a skewer. Arrow. Nope, actually had to wait on the mirror image. Plasma field. Ush taking a bit of damage. They're going to chase him down. And, okay, Way 2. Terrible shot. You know, those arrows are deceptively hard to hit point blank, though, because you're trying to judge very quickly what direction they're going to dart, and you know they're going to anticipate it as well. So Yoki dodges a bullet, and that's a little bit of wasted time on the side of NaVi US. Up at top, there's going to be a missed pounce. Korok doing what damage he can, but if he hits that pounce, maybe they kill the bat. Instead, he's able to fly down to the low ground to safety.
Yeah, in lane, Slark in general is actually quite good against bad. You can use the Dark Pact for the sticky napalm charges, and the pounce kind of, despite him having Firefly, kind of makes him sit and play. So, Autumn trying to go for another arrow. It's not going to hit, unfortunately, again. And Yoki is still getting pretty damn good farm as a result. Auto attacks with the Elder Titan Spirit, following Ush. He's actually dragging the creep wave, so this means more free, easy CS for the Naga Siren, who's bottle crowing. Might miss that one, but it's still okay. And yeah, so obviously this laning phase is going in favor of Empire. They have stacks ready for the bat. He's starting out one of them. He's got another triple stack in his main hard camp. So we'll have to see how much of an impact he can have. He'll probably have Blink at around the standard time here, 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, he's in good shape, I do believe. Arise, getting some more XP. And that's when, you know, he gave up a couple of deaths, but it's not the end of the world. He is bouncing back okay. They're going to try to go after Always Want to Fly here, and I think this is the right call. They need to get themselves on the board, need to get something working, and they need to not let these heroes from Empire continue to just rotate and get this much XP. They're doing quite well in that regard.
Radiant's bottom tower
Korok
is under
takes away his ball, gets the tower damage, immediate reaction. They're going to get the Elder Titan for sure. Silence there, but doesn't have a coil. As I'm not sure what he's spinning on, but he's spinning on something. And unable to get anything done. So successful gank from NaVi US. Well done.
Yeah, the coil was used about 70 seconds ago, so I missed that one as well. But he's going to walk towards mid. He actually has a coil now in 2 seconds. Can maybe go for a kill. He's actually going to go in the bottom. He's going to have to cast the orb right away. It's still not going to hit. Very interesting gank attempt right there. And actually, Yoki's taking a lot of damage.
Oh, mirror image, and now the song. That's going to be enough to get him back to safety. The Razor stole a lot of damage there. Silent's going to hang, and yeah, he threw his orb actually in the wrong direction. But guess who's there? Always Want to Fly. Catches Ush, and that's a killing spree for Silent as he improves to 3-0. 43 CS leads the board as well, so Silent having an immaculate game on this puck. And NaVi US, you know, again, they got on the board, but they're losing valuable heroes now. They can't continue. They're going to have to find a way to stabilize.
Yeah, and they're going to need to shut down this Naga sometime, or at least pressure the lanes with a tower push mid or something like that. They're getting some good kills up top. So Korok, he's up to 2-0, which is very, very good for him. If he can snowball, that's their ticket maybe to putting more pressure on this Naga. So I hope to see an early blink from him. I'm not sure what he usually goes on Slark, but I do think blink is very, very acceptable this game.
Yeah, 1,200 gold, I would imagine that'll be the choice. Shadow Blade's an option, but I think blink on Slark, I think it's just so good, and for the value too. Like blink, you know, if you want to just play a farm game, blink can get you out, give you another option in how to get out of trouble whenever they try to gank you. But it gives you so much aggressive potential in terms of just moving across the map and being able to just blow someone up guaranteed, instead of some of those hit and miss pounces we see sometimes. I mean, it's just those pounces are tougher to land in a lot of cases than you want to give credit for. Fog picks up an invis and is now moving back up to top lane. And we'll see if they want to try to go for another dive on Always Want to Fly. He's quite far back right now. Yeah, and Fog going to show himself. Here comes Way2. And Fog hits him. And yep, Korok's there to follow it up. And Always Want to Fly dead again. That's his third death. So NaVi US getting back into this game and tying it up on the back of a very, very unfortunate Elder Titan. We can see gold-wise, it's still Empire's lead, but it's not that big. About 1,000 in their favor. The XP's right around there, too.
Yeah, one of the things you mentioned at the beginning was this combo of the Venge plus the Potom. I really like it, too. I think it's really strong. Even Venge plus Slark, once you get more levels up into the Wave of Terror, and Fog's gone for like a little bit of a hybrid build. I think he benefits nicely from the negative armor reduction. So I mean I'm a really big fan of Venge. I think it's a really good hero. We've seen a lot in the Eastern scene. And once he hits level 6, which he's very close to, he can use the swap out for the Batrider Lasso too. So Fog getting some nice levels.
Down at bottom, this tower either needs to defend it or abandon. Actually, they're going to go ahead and hit the coil on a rise. And there's the Death Ward. That'll secure the kill. There will be a reaction, but Silent has to phase shift and now trying to bottle. There's a... oh, wow, another arrow off. Fog, though, there to follow it up. Is he going to get away because of that cast? That is maddening. Solo through that. Had to have been forever ago. And it was still bouncing around. We missed another kill as it looks like they managed to bring down the Naga Siren in mid, so well executed there, however it took place. But yeah, Fogged and Way2 were there, but that cast got some very nice bounces from this guy right here. And because of that, Silent makes it away. That was just as he finished his blink,
middle
too.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, it gave him enough time. He actually... oh, Solo denies the DVD bottom as well. It almost gave him enough time to actually get the blink away, but it actually just gave him enough time to use the extra
Dyer's
illusory
top tower is under attack.
So, nicely played there by Solo and Puck. I thought that the Puck went a little bit early with the initiation. Actually missed his waning rift as a result. But yeah, nice cast to really save the day.
Well, this Elder Titan's still hanging. He's almost level 6. He's died a handful of times, and he may die again as we see another smoke out of Fogged and Way2. He's way too far forward. He is super bad. Fogged there to follow it up, and the arrow finishes the deal. As Way2 has been kind of hit and miss with his arrows, both figuratively and literally, but not hard to hit that one.
Well, I don't know what Always Want to Fly is sitting up there for. I think the Slark kills him solo. Like, he walked up and pounced him. He can just Dark Pact the Stomp anyway. So I don't know. He's playing way too far up. He actually just TP's bottom now. He's like, screw it, I'm done. But Korok's down here too. So he needs to be much more careful. He's given a lot of free room to NaVi US.
Here we go. We're going to have Silent trying to smoke through. Gets eyes on Ush. He's going to be hit with the static link. And doing some decent damage. He is fairly over-leveled. He's about the same level as that. Now Yoki's going to come forward. And now Scandal there hits him with the lasso. Can they bring him down? Reactions on the way. They're going to drag him a little bit. And no, good swap from Fog. Just level 1. That's as far as he could get him. However, they do stun Silent and get a return kill. Fog should end up dead here one way or the other. They can dive this. Yoki has Song. And not even going to have to. As the Flame Break finishes it off. That looked kind of goofy, like the little do-si-do Fog did. That's about as good as he's going to do, though, with a level 1 swap. And just doing anything to disrupt the damage there was their best hope at actually keeping him alive. So we're 6-6 at 12 minutes in. 12 kills, and it's still a very, very tight game. Less than 1,000 gold separating the squads, while 500 XP. The only lead generated by Empire thus far in that department as well. Let's talk items a little bit. The Puck, what's he grabbing here? He's actually got a Glove of Haste on top of his treads in his blink.
Yeah, that's going to be a Midas. I've seen this a number of times with the Naga Siren on your team, because when you're comfortable in taking it late, and you have 4 heroes on low, Always Want to Fly might not again. You have to pop the... oh, wow. Nice initiation, though, from Silent. And with the silence. Oh, no, it doesn't matter.
Plasma Field finishes him. That was actually misplayed by Korok. As you had said, if he times it right, he can Dark Pact the Stomp. And he actually Dark Packed it early. And Always Want to Fly managed to drag that out and almost allow the Puck to get a return kill because of it. Now he's rotating towards mid. I love the aggression Korok's using right now. Compared to a lot of the Eastern teams, and they play Slark right now. Slark's still just farming. Now we're going to go... oh, missed it! That's crippling. Because if he hits that, there's an RP to follow, and Yoki's definitely dead before he can saw him. Big reactions coming in. We're going to see the bat manage to get a grab on Ush. Great target for him to lock down. No point in snare for Yoki, however. The stomp is there. Yoki in trouble as Korok able to turn it around. There's a cast out from Solo, Earth Splitter. Off the mark, but they didn't need it anyway. And that's a 2 for 1. And though they lose the Naga, they get the 2 best heroes they possibly could from NaVi. The Razor and the Slark. And I actually feel like Empire's playing this well. NaVi US is roaming well, but a couple of misplays here and there are really costing them. That should have been an easy gank on the Naga. Korok missing the pounce allowed all of that reaction and everything to play out the way it did subsequently.
Well, that was some hate, by the way, at the very end there on Korok. Like two ultimates were cast after he was dead, just to make sure he was dead. But even if he does hit that pounce, I don't even know that it was a good idea to go back that far, because yeah, Mag could come in and skewer an RP, but that takes time, and that's a plenty of time for Yoki to react with the song, which he did have off cooldown. So I don't even know about that initial dive. I think that was just way too. I think their eyes were way too big for that one. But anyway. They did shut down the Naga a little bit, but her farm is still pretty decent, 2,900. Well on her way to her relic. But as you mentioned, Ush has died 3 times now, which is not good. Magnus is actually closing in on his blink, and that'll be a big opportunity for NaVi US once they get it.
I feel like Arise has really bounced back well. He gave up 2 deaths in about 2 minutes and was getting nothing out of the off lane, but then he played it patient after that. And even though he's rotated around and he's made a little bit of help with some missed opportunities, he's been very efficient overall in how he's spending his time. He hasn't been rotating around and missing waves or, you know, giving up things to try and take chances. He's actually really done well. It's going to be an early BKB out of Ush as he's picked up the Ogre Club. And against this team, I can dig it. I feel like the Naga Siren really should get a value point in snare. What am I saying? Of course she's going to take it to 12. There's nothing else to put it into but stats. But I'm like you, man. Like, yeah, it's something I never even thought that much about. But that 1.2 in snare can make a big difference sometimes. And definitely think, because I think, in fact, in that last engagement in mid, if he had 1.2 in snare, he survives and they still manage to get the kills.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree at all with getting stats over in snare. Yeah. I actually had a bit of a talk with RTZ about this. I was wondering why some Nagas, you know, go over the build that they do and getting the extra points on mirror image, and he basically told me what I thought was the case. It's just that you don't want to commit yourself to fight and force yourself to like get to engagements when you should be spending your time farming anyway. So if you're going to be spending your time farming anyway, why not maximize the spells that help you do so? Which is mirror image, which is the biggest thing. Has the reduction of bonus incoming damage. But yeah, of course. He also said to get net too. Like I don't know why he's not getting it. It's such a good value point.
Yep.
I don't think 1 point or 2 points of stats is really going to warrant opting out of an ensnare this early on.
Yep. Silent gets eyes on Korok. God, yep, he's caught. He's dead. Wow, Korok just running around a little too willy-nilly. He pushed bottom while they were pushing mid. They ended up trading 2-2-1s. And I actually feel like Empire's in a phenomenal position. With the draft that NaVi US has, and more to the point, it's the way Korok's been playing. Like, you can draft a Slark and just farm him and be like, okay, he's a late game carry. We're not going to worry about really trying to get a lot done with him in movement. We're not going to worry about dives, even though he's excellent at it. We just want him to go late. We want him to, or maybe there's just one particular item, a BKB, something after your break. That you're really consumed with. But the way they've been playing him is very active. Wow, there's a... yeah, they got the Naga in mid. So, but at any rate, the way they've been playing him, they should be a little further ahead than they are now. The Naga has been significantly delayed, as you had mentioned, but she already has a relic. So at this point, you're talking probably a 20-minute radius when she's back up, if they can keep her alive, which is really good given they're already in the lead.
Yeah, well, they showed the Blink RP as well on Arise, so the jig is up on that. And I just find it a little bit interesting for NaVi US's lineup that they have this Razor who's rushing BKB, and then a Slark who doesn't want to farm the majority of the time. Like, he's trying to get very active, which I think is okay, but I still feel like they can afford to have one farmer, like one Midas carrier, or not even Midas, but like one person that's just kind of not wanting to go to team fights and just farm on the farm. So that could have been the Midas on the Slark, it could have been straight Aghanims on Racer before BKB. I'm actually very worried about the BKB. While I feel like it might be necessary early on.
Engagement at bottom. That's where Fly's going to end up dead, but the Earth Splitter actually caught Korok, and now he's going to be lassoed. Korok almost completely misplayed that. I will come back to that in a minute. It looks like they still want to pursue out way too. He has used the Moonlight Shadow. Got caught with a coil. They know where he is. There's going to be a flame break. They have no detection. And they're going to have to start carrying some. Now a sentry goes down, but it's way late. And he's already used his flame break, so he will be able to TP away to safety. But yeah, Korok misplayed that horrendously at bottom. He once again messed up the Dark Pack timing, so he got stomped. Then he used his Shadow Dance. And the Earth Splitter had already been shot about right here, and he moved back to here, but got caught right at the at the end of it. It did a ton of damage to him. And then the lasso came right afterwards. So Korok having a bit of a rough day, and it's showing 3-3 on a Slark that had a good blink and was given pretty much unmitigated farm early on. He's got to get it in gear, or Empire's going to run away with this as the Naga gets her Radiance done, and yeah, in a few hundred gold.
Yep, well, BKB onto the Razor. I'm really fearing that the Razor's not going to be able to farm very well after this. We'll have to wait and see. He's going to be able to fight like right around now. So I imagine with this BKB early pickup, like you want to do something with it, right? Otherwise, there's no reason to go for it. So
right.
whether it's grouping up here as
Radiant's
5,
top tower is under attack.
Trying to maybe take a Roshan or something like that. But they need to get some kind of objective done with
Dire's
this.
middle tower is under
What better
attack.
time than now? The Radiance just gets picked up by the Naga. You have BKB on your Razor. Blink was just picked up a couple minutes ago on a Rise, so they need to make something happen here.
Scandal wants to look for Lasso, gonna get it, and there's a waning rift as well. Silent jumps in, it's 3, but he does a ton of damage. Us using that BKB, now the phase shift from Puck, they're gonna try to time it when he comes out, and they get him. So jumping in blindly, not the best call there, and I think Empire needs to disengage right now. This is not a fight they can need to continue on. Basically, Scandal went in blind there and found a whole team, and now he's in trouble again as Korok gets him with the pounce. There's going to be a Force Staff, recently finished. It'll get him away. Oh, they got him! Oh, what a shot from Way 2. Shot it to hit him much, much closer than that, but the winding path he took put him right in the path of the arrow again, so Way 2 secures the kill. And Korok continuing to play very aggressive. Should get another kill on Always Want to Flying if he can just get eyes on him. Yeah, and he's running to hide right now. Looks like Korok might have been shook there. Now he's going to come back out. Yeah, he's into it. And
again, that's like the 4th time that he keeps doing that. I don't know why.
He wants to burst him.
And he might die actually unless Silent. I don't think he has a waning rift right now, so yeah, he will maybe live. There's the net, but the entangle. I don't know why I said that. The skewer actually a way to save him. So yeah, he needs to hold this. It's as simple as that.
Yep. I think he's getting to the point he feels like he should be able to burst him. And he came very close. I mean, he was only like, what, 80 HP, 100 HP from dying, like after the Dark Pack there. But it's still not good enough, and because of that, he made it away. We're at 11-13, 24 kills in a 21-minute game. Things staying very active, and NaVi US has cut this back down. However, Nava's Radiance is done, and we're going to get to see how good Yoki is at the end. The warding, by the way, has been ultra aggressive out of NaVi US. We've got one here that we just see the Nagas walked over, one up on the Ancients, one over here near top lane, even though the Tier 1 does still stand. And they actually have one back behind the former Tier 1 position before it dropped too. So there are 4 wards all on this side of the river, all in very aggressive spots. So that should serve as an indication that NaVi US knows they have to fight. They can't back off and try to stabilize. Like, they got to continue fighting no matter what. And sure enough, they're going to smoke as soon as they all hit mid. They're going as 4 now. Yep, gem picked up by Silent, which is good. Yule's onto him as well after this Midas. So he's got a significant amount of farm now as this 1.5 position Puck. They're pinging out Solo. Oh, I think they just actually got revealed. Yep. So Solo, they don't know exactly where he is. Probably have a good idea now. Korok might just jump in here. DD on him with the... exactly where he is. They're going to catch it. And that's not bad. I mean, they got a gank, but that's actually not very good either. You don't want to spend that much time ganking with your whole team, basically, and only get support Witch Doctor. Like, that was not a mission to get a Witch Doctor to get any kill. That was a mission to find the Naga or to find someone else to kill. And now Yoki has already gone to work. I guarantee you he's got bots on this. Yeah, like it's same as always, man. Like as soon as the Radiance comes out, it is 60 to 120 seconds and it's bots up. And just like that, this map is going to start to feel very claustrophobic in the US.
Dire's top
That's
tower
a very
is
good
under
word
attack.
to use. Claustrophobic. Net worth, the Razor's still on top. Well, actually he's neck and neck with the Puck. So that's good for him. Gonna go for a Shiva. So after this BKB, Razor has been able to get some decent farm, which is pretty good. I was worried that if you go for a straight BKB, which is not a farming item. Although it is a farming item in the sense that you can play up a little bit further, you know? So you can farm that extra wave without being harm's way. So in that sense, I guess it's a farming item. But of course, if adding extra stats or mobility and things like that, it doesn't much action bottom.
Shadow Dance, forced out. They're going to be able to stay right on in, though. Lasso's still there. He has Blink in 3 seconds. Korok, no, he's actually going to make it, maybe. Waning Rift in 1 second. And, nope, thought he might have tried the jaunt and get the silence. Not the case. So he does manage to run Distraction, but, yep, these illusions are now doing their dirty business. And I don't think NaVi did enough. And I don't think Slark's an adequate answer to late game Naga. Like, I'm worried desperately for them.
Yeah, when I saw the Slark pick against the Naga, I was a little curious too. But I think they have, like, Razor is obviously amazing late game, much more than people thought a long time ago. It's just a matter of getting there. And the buff, I will say though, that the buff onto a melee hero like Slark from Magnus is very, very good in power. Very, very good spell. Even Magnus can... Oh, I missed that kill, but...
I got it, don't worry. It was a swap from Fogged into a Magic Missile and an Arrow, so it wasn't, you know, it was decent play.
But even Magnus can actually transition to the late game. Like, that hero, believe it or not, does a ton of damage himself with his own Empower, and if you got, like, you know, crit Mask of Madness or some crazy build like that, and you seriously do a ton of damage. It's crazy.
Get that Battle Fury up, bro.
Yep.
Battle Fury Magnus.
I remember that.
Oh yeah, I've run that and won with it. One of those inebriated doings. Just like, I'm doing it, whatever. Fine. But yeah, like now NaVi, and we could see this. Like, look at the warding from NaVi US was here, 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 and here. Now look where their wards are here. And here, and look where their positioning is instead of being smoked perpetually across the map.
Dire's middle tower
they are
is under
pushed back,
attack.
and this is just the Naga Siren effect. Like, they've got Korok a bit far forward because he can afford to be, but the rest of his team is playing back near the tier 2s. And yeah, like they've hit that point. They just did not get enough work done on the Naga Siren. What's the next step here for them, Trout? And now we're actually going to see an RP used, and that got 2. Just as Silent and blinked in, they're still going to get at least 1. And Arise wastes his RP. That's just some unfortunate timing. He RP'd just as Silent came in, and everything went crooked from there. So another 2 kills for Empire. It's 13 to 15, and a pretty big swing there. Yeah, I was going to say it's like 1,500, 2,700 XP.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And just the comforting thought that, you know, you're not going to get RP'd for another minute and a half or so. And he actually goes for the Assault Grass rather than the Shivas. I thought it would be
tower
Shivas.
is under attack.
It's good about not even just nuking down the images, but slowing them down too, so they're not as effective in team fights. But goes for the extra armor, which is a little bit curious, but you have to see how it works out. Naga just doing her Naga thing. Has a Yasha up and another 1,600 gold, so pretty standard stuff from Naga. And it's just now you're on the clock from NaVi US.
I think it's getting to the point where a lot of teams are going to start to ban the Naga every time. Like, you know, it's not, I don't even know how to say it. Like, she just changes the game entirely. Like, in terms of how you have to play, what your objectives have to be, what your timing windows are. You have to adapt to her, or she's going to punish you right now in this current state of the game. And NaVi trying to get something done. They move into the jungle. They do manage to catch out Solo. Fog coming in from behind. There's going to be a lasso, though. Ushin about half health is being burned down. Always want to fly there. Fog down immediately. There's a coil that caught Korok, and now the Yules tosses Ushin in the air as well. They still have that gem. Silent does still have it. BKBs are seeing snare behind from Yoki. Trying to get on top of it. And we'll use the mirror image. The ult doing decent damage. Here comes Korok looking for a target. Yoki be a great one, but Song, the ultimate answer to any aggression. Are they going to re-engage? I'm thinking about it. They were hanging around a little longer than I would have liked to have seen them hang around. Ush is going to get an urn charge. And NaVi US, even though they rotate, they end up killing off Silent. And now there's going to be Scandal caught. That's what they needed. Pile it up a little bit. So they end up giving up 2, but they end up getting 2 as well. And that's 28. They're fighting back. They're doing as much as they can. They just got to do so much more. We're going to see Way 2 able to get away.
I do think that was a nice play by Scandal, though. Like, he basically traded his life for killing Korok, and he was also trying to save the gem as well. I don't think he saved the gem. I'm looking. Yeah, it was taken by Magnus, so gem saved. They actually get the counter ward for the troubles, but I would trade the Batrider's life for the life for the Slark. I think that was a nice decision by him.
Let's take a look. And, I mean, NaVi US is fighting. They're fighting hard. And this Razor is fairly well farmed. He's right on par with the Naga Siren 4 now. But again, you know, and this is where it gets so problematic. You just went and had an exchange. It went okay. It's not the end of the world. But every time you pull back to reset, that, you know, every, minute and a half, that's 1,000 gold for Naga. It's like, that's how it feels. And now we're going to have 2 spotted. There's a lasso on the Fog, BKB on Ush. They're going to burst Fog down. Silence there as well. He has a coil. And Yoki trying to find the angle. Ush's BKB will expire. Silence going to catch him with a coil after that. And this is a disaster. If there's one hero you cannot afford to be losing right now, it's Ush, the Razor. Slark has his basher. He's making progress. But Razor right now is your best good chance to stand in these fights and not just melt. And whenever he's down, like, they're going to push and take this tier 2 very, very easily.
Dyer's
and it's a good thing NaVi US has mid pushing out some. Otherwise, they'd probably take that one, too.
Yep, and he tried to TP away with the BKB, but the ensnare goes right through that.
Yep.
Maybe looking to fight here, but Ush isn't up for another 40 seconds, so even if they did get a nice RP, I don't think they have the damage to follow up. Especially with the Witch Doctor heal constantly. In fact, that last engagement, Witch Doctor almost lived because of his heal.
Dyer's top tower has
very
fallen.
good fight there for Team Empire, and yeah, just honestly more of the same. Fuel's coming up for the Batrider as well, so they have more ways to cancel TPs and just save themselves and elongate the fight for Naga. And they have this whole Naga plus ET combination, which is always fun to see.
Yep, there's going to be a lasso. They go in and jump on Fogged. Saw Fogged was getting whittled down by those illusions. Back behind his own racks, he gets caught. This is going to force a major reaction. That's a lot of farm just picked up by one flame break. And Naga, and you know, this is, again, the beautiful thing. Now they're in the jungle. Now they're closing this map off. Naga's going to shut every lane, and she has all the room in the world to work. She has a Manta style done, and she's up to nearly 2,000 gold additionally. And against this team, Slark went Basher. I want to see if he's going to go Abyssal or if he's going to bank his money for a bit. Like, at this point, Naga should just go Butterfly. Like, if she just goes Butterfly and the Slark, I mean, he might get an MKB next. If he does, he's still got a ways to go. About 3,000 gold to go. But, yeah, she can farm that Butterfly so quickly.
Butterfly's fine. The Heart's also really good, just to tank up your illusions from the spam of Magnus and the Razor. So either, I probably didn't expect to see the Heart come out, but I wouldn't be totally surprised if I saw Butterfly either. Bottom lane, Puck. He was farming and very, very well and has this Midas, so I'm assuming he has something else in the works. And yeah, it's going to be a Sheep Stick, I imagine, for him, which you can't complain about. It's always good in pretty much every single game. And yeah, I mean, this is just the Naga show, man. We've seen this so many times in the Eastern scene, and it never really ends well. Unless you really pressure towers very, very early on. But NaVi US doesn't really have a Lycan. These are heroes in the Eastern scene in response to Naga that sometimes don't even work themselves.
Oh, Arise. Arise just whiffed hard on his RP. They still might get silent, and they will. Nice arrow. Way too bailed him out. He tried to do the 4-staff RP thing, and it got nothing out of it. They managed to get the kill on Ush, though. And losing silence sucks, but losing Ush sucks worse. Ensnares up. He's got Song as well. He's just going to mirror image. And send the illusions on out as his farm just continues to pile up. He's now about 3,000 gold ahead. Looks like you were right. The Heart. And yeah, I mean, Heart's always just generally good. I just feel like if she went BKB, I don't know how they touch her. Like, right now, she's not even melting that badly to begin with, but kind of irrelevant. And it's been a Mithril Hammer pickup for Korok. I want to know what he's grabbing next now.
Well, that's a mech on the Max as well. Kind of interesting that it comes out this late, especially on him. I don't think that they're really going to be winning team fights against Naga and Elder Titan with Batrider and Puck for that matter. I mean, their team fight's actually really strong on Empire with their core items, and they have them all. And always want to fly. He has this casual
Dire's
staff of
middle
wizardry.
tower is under attack.
Probably going to be a 4-staff, but if it is an axe, it actually would be really fun to see. But yeah, this Mithril Hammer, as you mentioned, for Korok, probably a BKB, would be my guess.
That or Maelstrom, maybe, if he wants to hit faster.
Yeah, he needs a BKB though to live through like all the magic
Dire's
damage.
top tower is
Outside
under
of the
attack.
lasso, everything else is magic damage. Empire.
Here's going to be a 3-man smoke. They want to catch Silent. They want to catch Always Want to Fly. He jumps right in the middle and it reveals it. And yeah, he has nowhere to go. He has his Yules. I'm surprised he didn't Yules himself after Phase Shift ended. If he Yules himself, then Phase Shifts again, he's able to blink away. So, nonetheless, they managed to kill him again. Taking a look at outstanding performers. He has played well, even though he has given up a few deaths of late. 10-5-6 on Silent, 6-2 on the bat, 5-0 on Way 2. So he's done quite well. He's missed a couple arrows early, but he's really been on point through the mid game. And 5-4 on the Slark, which is really, I think, a big problem. That's like the big problem is the fact that collectively Slark and Razor are 9-9. Like that, you can't have that out of your cores against a Naga Siren. She will punish you so badly.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with the Puck. He definitely could have done something a little bit more elusive there. That kind of sucks. He had like 3,300 gold about 2 minutes ago, and now after 2 minutes he's down to 3,000, so losing gold when he could have had his sheep stick very soon. But it's going to be a Maelstrom onto the bottom. I think that this is very good. I think if anyone can kind of save this game, it's just the support's turning into cores on the side of NaVi US. Maelstrom's obviously very good against the Naga Siren illusions. Is it enough is a question? Probably not, but I do think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, NaVi US is hanging, but it's the snowball nature of Naga Siren. I mean, she's now net worth-wise, just like that, man. It seems like it couldn't have been much more than 5 minutes ago. I said she was about 3,000 gold ahead. She's now about 6,000 gold ahead. They're going to get a kill on the solo as he just wanders into a dark neighborhood. But you know, these kills on these supports just aren't enough. I mean, even killing Silent, not enough. The Naga has been untouched. And they have to account for this. Heart's up now. She's got another 1,000 gold. She said she has 2 more slots to fill.
RP whiffed again, bottom. Very fast reactions from Silent. Very fast reactions. The arrow comes out, it does miss. He doesn't have TP for another 15 seconds. He's actually using his He will be fine. So again, I don't think that's mostly on the Magnus, although you have to kind of possibly expect that that's going to happen with Puck because it is so easy to get away.
Bogged, lassoed back, but the Moonlight Shadow deployed to keep him safe. And they will just go ahead and fall down. They're having a hard time getting out on the map. Like, we're seeing them come out to the river here and there. Korok gets eyes on Silence again. Played properly that time. Korok's still chasing him down though. He's got a coil if he has to use it. He's going to catch him from behind with the pounce. There's the coil and the waning rift. Phase shifts out, and here comes Scandal. BKB has been activated. He's still chasing him around. And there's Solo as well, there to help him with the heal, and he has to bail. That BKB is going to be wearing off soon. And it looks like that was actually used in mid. I thought I would thrown it out to try to catch Korok with it, but just a whole lot of wasted time, and Silent, because he survives, manages to complete his hex.
Yep, and if that Batrider had lasso, I think Korok actually dies there, but it's on cooldown for like another 15 or 16 seconds.
Right.
And yeah, he just popped the heart, and Kappa just picks up the defusal. So all that time there was extra space also for the Naga Siren. And this is getting very, very scary now. Again, we've seen this so many times with Naga Siren picked up. I think I've only seen Naga lose 1 game. No, I've seen it lose 2 games now since in D2L. I believe NaVi US actually lost with it that 1 game, and then I believe IG lost with it when Ferrari was playing at one time, when the team they were playing had like Lycan Jakiro or something like that.
Yep. I think you're 100% right. And that was the recipe. Like you said, push towers, kill the Naga over and over. Make her come to fights. You know, pressure her tier 3s at 28. Like, that's kind of the recipe. If you're able to do that, and she has to show up before she hits level 16, especially with just level 2 song, you can kill her. And you can win. But we're now coming up on 38 minutes in. Her net worth is skyrocketing. She has that heart, as you had mentioned. She has another 1,000 gold set aside. And I think she bought something because she actually had 1,000 gold a while ago, too. But yeah, they can just slow siege this thing. And so, I mean, Yoki can just walk forward. Silent is great counter initiation. They have the Witch Doctor as well. Like, this is just a good draft out of NaVi US. Few misplays here and there have cost him. There's wow. That is his 7-second BKB he just used for nothing. Up, they're going to re-engage. Korok gets hexed out. And the death ward was used, as was the Earth Splitter. He managed to make it away. There's a 3-man coil. Is there any follow-up? They're just chasing them down with the Naga illusions. They have to use Moonlight Shadow. There's going to be the lasso on the Fog. Ush is there doing what damage he can, but it's not much. Fog punched down by the Elder Titan, and the rest of the squad has to turn tail and run. And the siege is on. Fog down for 50 seconds. RP still available. And it's, you know, this is such a tough game for Arise now. Like, this is going to be very bad for both the Slark and for the Magnus, actually. Because of the fact that these illusions, when they walk back, yeah, you see what he's doing with this one? This puts Blink Daggers on cooldown. So they're up. There he found an angle. Got two. And Silent bailed out by the song. Actually, only got one. I thought he got two there. There, got him. There's going to be a BKB out of Korok. He's trying to find a target. It's going to be Solo. Behind that, we can see the fight rages on above. Korok surrounded and focused out. He's going to go ahead and Shadow Dance. They will get the kill on the Always Want to Fly. I actually feel like the follow-up was not that great out of Empire. And now Ush hexed, but Solo forced staff to safety. Korok's going to be able to catch him from behind, though. And Scandal coming in. Has the lasso. He may grab Ush. Using the Yules again just to secure their retreat. So this is actually fought back relatively well by NaVi US. Didn't cost them a buyback. The RP wasn't outstanding, but I feel like Empire misplayed it whenever they used the song. If they were going to back, they should have backed. Instead, they had no damage follow-up.
Yeah, it was a little sloppy on their part, but I still think they're in a fine position. Like,
yeah.
It's just so freaking big. And yeah, I will say about just the whole idea of Magnus, when you're down and you're like under a lot of pressure, it feels like it's impossible to get through good RPs. Your RPs, it makes you look like very clowny. When you're up, it's very easy to get good RPs, and it makes you look like the best Magnus player in the world. So I understand his pain. It's very difficult. And as you mentioned too, just with the Radiance burn, like with Naga illusions, it's very difficult to find your right angle. Not to mention with the other heroes spreading out. So one man RP, it could be worse. I'll say that.
Yeah, I thought he got two.
It looked like he did, yeah.
But nonetheless, they hold the line. I mean, it wasn't the end of the world. Whatever happened, happened. But at the very least, they managed to keep the tier 3 and their racks up, and it didn't cost them a buyback. So that in and of itself is noteworthy. But the problem is, noteworthy is not good enough anymore. The problem is right now, they have to get back to where they're actually taking wins. And we see a small dip down in the overall net worth. The experience, though, is plummeting in favor of Empire, and I'm sure the gold's going to get back onto that as well. And the problem is, if they lose one Rax, it's basically game over. Because with a Naga split pushing every other lane, you'll never be able to account for it.
Yep, it's similar to like a Furion or a Wisp on your team. So, yep, Naga Siren close to 6 slotted, can sell the bottle for, I presume to be a butterfly. Best by far, I think. And I will say that the other members outside of Empire are not really getting anything. Like the Batrider is not getting that good of an item progression. Is actually forgoing the BKB. I think BKB would be really good here. Just to not get stunned out. I guess it's not that good.
Oh, Ush. Oh, never mind. The Plasma Field actually caught the bat and put his blink on the cooldown. I thought that he was going to get an easy lasso to be able to follow it up, but missed opportunity.
Oh, you know why I was thinking he's BKB? Is because of the passive, right? Of Korok is going in.
Yep, going on solo. There's going to be an Earth Splitter thrown out. And he BKBs as he lands in the Yules. That was actually really well timed, but forcing a BKB charge out is a big deal.
Naga's top, though.
Yep, and they have to. And this is what we were saying. Like, this is with all 3 racks still standing. If they lose a set of racks, they can never account for her. And look what's happening now, because they have to respond there. There's going to be a nice RP. Got everyone, and the follow-up's there. Finally, Arise comes through in the clutch as he makes them pay desperately. Scandal makes it 4 down. And Fogged is even there to stop the push at top. They desperately needed that win. And Arise, who has had the hardest time all game, has got to be smiling now. That is not a game turning necessarily because the hole is awful deep, but it certainly is a game extending and a major play that is going to buy them some time to find an answer.
Yeah, I missed the seeing on everybody.
Got 4.
Okay. And follow up with Razor, I'm sure, is very devastating too. Like, that hero has decent AoE, has an Ags now.
Oh, the Dark Pact as well. The Dark Pact, like the Slark engaged and Dark Pact, and everyone just melted.
Yep, has his refresher now on Razor, and then Scotty's actually coming out soon on the Slark. Here comes the sleep, though. Do they have follow-up? There is not an Earth Splitter for 11 seconds.
Yeah, Korok. Actually, Dark Packs, and now always want to fly. Gonna try to stomp. Nope, BKB stops that. NaVi US is, for the last minute or so, outplaying Empire. Empire, I feel like, outplayed them heavily early. But these last few engagements at the Tier 3 and then at bottom, this is now NaVi US fighting back and fighting back hard. And you can see they are putting a dent into the gold. The experience is actually heavily in their favor now. Heavily in their favor. And they are going to be able to zone them out. They just got to continue to play smart. Yule's used on the Razor. Oh, nice flame break, and they get his Aegis. Phase shift on the magic missile, and this will allow them to reset. And Silent's actually going to be engaged upon by Korok. He pounces through the phase shift. There's a good death ward, though. BKB is being used at the moment. There's going to be another RP, and he does manage to catch Scandal. Scandal down. And Korok flipping around all willy-nilly. Missed on the pounce, but does catch Solo. There's the song. They're trying to save him. Way2 can throw a Hail Mary arrow here if he wants to. And he will. Oh, barely missed Yoki. And there was another pounce that got him from behind, and now Yoki in trouble. Hex is used, but they get it. NaVi US, when it looked like they were in their darkest hour, has just outfought and outplayed Empire and continues to do so. Silent making a run for it. Always want to flies there with him. But they are just running them over now. It's 30-20. And more importantly, they get the Naga Siren. And look at this, man. We might see the first gold lead of the game for NaVi US at 45 minutes against the Naga Siren. And look at the experience. Oh, man. They have exploded to a 25,000 experience lead.
Jeez, it's crazy how one big RP like that can totally change the game. Like, completely change the game. And I will say normally experience is not like something that a team of Naga is winning out on, just because she's usually never there for, 3/4 of the images and trying to spread herself across the map. But yeah, after the Naga Siren, and the puck just falls off the other side of Empire. And action onto the top river, I should say. It's going to be Silent. Could get the link out to the Yules. It's probably going to fall here. He will.
Misplayed. Silence had a couple of those. Just misplayed. Naga does have a butterfly now, so life's going to get a little bit more difficult. MKB. How do you, I mean, for Korok, I don't know, he's got 3K gold. He just finished his Scotty a moment ago. I would feel a lot better about NaVi US if he had opted to go MKB before Scotty and was now banking for the Scotty instead of the other way around. And because one lost fight, I mean, we saw just the impact one big RP had. One good sleep and one good team fight from Empire to reverse that again. And yeah, they actually do have their first gold lead of the entire game, 46 minutes in. So they are definitely outplaying Empire down the stretch. And Empire, they need a win. They're going to have a chance at one, as it looks like they want to run at this Tier 2 as 5.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if NaVi US could come back from this. I feel like Empire had all the
swap
in the world.
Swap Scandal out. Song's on point, though. Fogged is super dead, as he's in motion. And no, they actually go in. Arise pokes in along with Korok. And Yoki brought down. Are you kidding me? NaVi US in a moment when it seemed like the play would have been to go defensive, to go, oh, they caught us. There was the song, we need to wait. Hell no. They go in, they go after Fog. They get not only him, they get 4 more, or 3 more, as the puck did just respawn and it died earlier. And now Korok goes in. He's so tanky after that. Scotty finishes off solo. Now the silent contra behind with the Abyssal. That's a full 5-man wipe in a matter of 100 seconds. It's 36 to 20. This is huge. They're actually going to get wrecked.
I think they actually just won the game because
Yeah, I
Butterfly
think
was
so
just purchased. Butterfly was just purchased by They're going to go for straight for the throw, and that's over. This is actually one of the biggest throws I've seen. Because not so much in the metrics, but just the metrics plus the just overall round and where they should have been. Very nicely played by NaVi US. On the back of some game-breaking RPs, 2 in a row. I missed the first one, but the second one after a sleep.
Yep.
I don't know about that, but NaVi US comes out on top after what should have been a free win here for Empire.
Oh my god, big plays. Arise ends up being the hero in a lot of ways, as you had mentioned. Korok didn't go for the MKB, but didn't need it. The Scotty just made him such a beast. And those RPs, as you said, man,